Welcome, y'all. This is our last section of chapter 10. A little sad because this is the end of the school year, but that's okay. I think we're all done. We're all ready to call it quits. Alright, so we're talking about equations of circles. Now, this is a very algebra-based section, so I don't know if regular geometry goes through it, but we do because we like to include this stuff. And plus, it kind of helps lead you into start getting into the algebra brain for next year as you guys head to algebra. Alright, so let's talk about equation circle. So this kind of takes some numbers. Remember, point on the circle, that's our x, y. So our x, y coordinates right here. Those represent y. R, in this case, is the radius. HK is our center. So as we go through, talk about this. What is a circle? A circle is a bunch of points all equal distance from one to the center. Okay? So the equations of the circle look like this. The center has the value HK. X, Y are points on the circle. So X, Y coordinates, HK is our center, and again, R is our radius. So this is the equation of a circle. This is what they look like. Right here. Now, this is a quadratic equation. Well, not quadratic. It's a binomial. It's a perfect binomial that came from a quadratic. But let's actually put some numbers to this to make a little bit more sense. So, for example, here we have our equation. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. We're going to write the equation for each of these circles. The center is at 1, -8, and the radius is 7. All right. So what we're going to do is just substitute. So remember, if this is the center, that means this is h and this is k. So as we plug these in, we'll say, hey, x minus the value of h, 1, quantity squared, plus y minus the value of k, -8 squared equals our radius, 7 squared. Now, just kind of brush up and fix it a little more. So, this is perfect. X minus 1, 20 squared, plus here, we got y minus the -8 means plus 8 squared, and then we square that. 7 squared is 49. That's it. So that's how you write the equation. We're done right there. We're done right there. Now, what if they say, hey, the center is at the origin? Well, what's the coordinates for the origin? Yeah, 0, 0. So if we were to plug these in, we'll say, hey, x minus 0 plus y minus 0 squared equals 4 squared. Now, because these are 0, then we wouldn't even write them. So we'll just say x squared plus y squared equals 16. So anytime you see just an x and a y only, that means your center is at 0, 0 on a graph. Alright, so now that we know how to make an equation, at least how the equation should look like based on the information, let's work a little bit more on making it. This one's going to take a little bit of challenge. It's going to take a little bit of algebra knowledge here. Alright, so this is our equation. X squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 2y equals -8. They want us, hey, what are the center and the radius of this? We're like, well, crap. All right, let's see. All right, let's try this. So the first things first is kind of put these in order. We start with our x squared, so we got x squared. I'm going to put that -8 in front. -8x. And we do plus, and we do a blank right there. We'll come back to that in a bit. And then plus y squared plus 2y plus a blank right there equals our -8. Alright, the blank right here, let's see what that means. So what we're going to do is we're going to create our own perfect binomials, a perfect trinomial that breaks down to be a perfect binomial. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this value, this right here, -8, and we're going to half it. We get -4. Okay, and then that -4, we're going to square it. It gives us 16, and that's what's going to go right here. 16 plus 16 on both sides. So we half that linear term and then square it. So let's try that over here. So we do that over here. We take that 2, divided by 2, we get 1. And then we're going to square that, we get a +1. We're going to add that to both sides. So what you do on one side, then you do the other side. All right? So now let's look at this. So now, when we factor this, we we say, hey, what times what gives me x squared? Well, it's x times x. What times what multiplies to be positive 4 by add up to negative 8, negative 4, negative 4. Look at that. It should be exactly the same. So since they're the same, we can write this as x minus 4 squared. Let's look at this one right here. Same thing right here. So this is what we got. All right. So what times what gives me y squared? Y times y. What times what multiplies to be 1 adds up to 2? 1 and 1. They're exactly the same. So we'll write it as plus y plus 1 squared equals, here we add this up, negative 8 plus 16 is 8 plus 1 is 9. And there you go. Look at that. It looks just like, go back, this right here. So that means from here we can take our center. Our center is negative 4, 1. Remember, it's always going to be opposite. Because the equation, do that in black, the equation should look like this. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So since it's negative, that means the value of your h is positive in this case. So it's a positive, so our center, our h comma k is at positive 4. And since this became positive, and originally should be a negative, the switch that means it was a negative 1. And our radius will be the square root of that. So r squared equals 9, so then r equals 3. This is our center and our radius. This was a lot of work, and you might run into 1 or 2 at the most, but I want you to start thinking like this because you're going to start doing this a lot right here come algebra time. All right, so find the point of intersection between a circle, x squared plus y squared equals 8, and a line, y equals negative 8. This is actually a lot easier than we see. So let's look at this. If we know y equals negative x, let's just take this and substitute it right there. All right, so that means x squared plus negative x squared equals 8. Well, x squared is x squared. Negative x squared actually becomes x squared. That equals 8. We add those up, you get 2x squared equals 8. Divide by 2. X squared equals 4, and then you square root that. Now here's the tricky part. When you square root this x, when you square root the 4 right here, you get a positive or negative 2. We say positive or negative because it's very important because 2 times 2 equals 4, and negative 2 times negative 2 also equals 4. All right, so that's the value of x. That's the point they will for sure share. They'll for sure share a 2 and a negative 2. Well, to figure out the y, we're going to take this and substitute it back in here. So when x is 2, you get y equals negative 2. When x is negative 2, you get y equals a negative 2, which gives a positive 2. So our coordinates will be 2 comma negative 2 and negative 2 comma 2. Seems confusing? Well, let's try that out. Let's look at an actual picture of this. So right there. All right, so here, this is called Desmos.com. It's really cool graphing calculator page. So this is the equation of x squared plus y squared equals 8. That's how it looks like on a graph. Well, let's bring in that other equation. The other equation was y equals a negative x. Look at that, intersects at 2 points at 2, negative 2, 2, and positive 2, negative 2, as we said earlier. We said 2, negative 2, and negative 2, 2. So those are the 2 points of intersection there. All right. Now, does it always intersect twice? Yes. No. No. Sometimes it intersects once. Sometimes they give you an equation that happens to be tangent, so it only tells you it once. All right. So let's go to the graphing side of these. If it ever changes. There we go. So again, our equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. They gave us 2 equations. It said, here, given the equation, find the center and the radius. So we're going to find the center. So again, the original equation should be minus h and minus k, because that's a positive h and a positive k will look like. Well, here it's a positive 2 and a negative h. So that means this should be a -2 for h, and a +8. It's always backwards. And if it's 16, we square root that number, you get r equals 4. And let's look at this other one. Here, the center would be at, -3, and then y, it's just plus y, and it's a 0 right there. With the radius being at the square root of that, 7. I want to practice graphing these so we can kind of see these graphing. The best way to kind of graph these is just getting these two things. So we got -2 and then a +8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's our center. Best way to do this is to graph 4 points from your center. You're going to do 4 radius. You go 4 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, roughly about right there. 4 down, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 to the side, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 to the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just kind of do your best to connect those dots. Make a circle. It's a full circle. I'm trying to make this. Oh, isn't too bad. Maybe not worse. That's one circle. That's this one. And let's look at this other one. It's at -3, 0. -3, 1, 2, 3, 0. So right there. The radius is 7. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 7 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's graph that. So it's better. Something about small circles, it's really hard to kind of do. Bigger circles are a lot easier. Look at that. Almost beautiful. Again, that's how you just graph them. That's the easiest way to graph them. Or if you have a compass, that's actually even easier. You just put 1 point right there, measure out 7 units, and just do your circle. Whoop. Do one more here, y'all. This time, they give us the equation like, hey, not equation, the drawing. Here's a drawing. Bam. Write me an equation for this. Remember. So the equation again should look like this. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Well, here's our center is at 4, 5. Okay, so that's going to go in here. So +4, +5. So it'll be x minus 4 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals r squared. So our radius. Let's figure that out. So the radius is the distance from the center to a point on the circle. Hey, well, this is they're right above each other's count. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So our radius is 4. So we plug in the 4 right there. We get to find the equation x minus 4 squared plus y minus 5 squared. There. Clear that up a little bit. Equals 4 squared. 60. That's all you need to know about circles, y'all. Have a wonderful day. Catch you on a different day. Bye.